When we talk about food, it's usually in absolutes. There's good food and bad food. Spinach is good for you, milk is bad for you. Quinoa is good for you, gluten is going to kill you in your sleep. Could it possibly be this simple, or are we missing something when we talk about food? As unhealthy as the American diet has become, presently 62% of adults are overweight or obese. Our relationship with dieting is just as unhealthy. Take, for instance, one survey by the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill that found that 75% of American women say that they endorse some unhealthy thoughts, feelings, or behaviors related to food or their bodies. Food can be a source of pleasure, joy, and it can help bring people together. Or it can be a place of shame, guilt, and remorse. Jordan Syatt is a world record powerlifter and strength coach. Today, he trains entrepreneurs like Gary Vee and helps people create a better relationship with food. I sat down with him to talk about how we can make progress to not only live healthier lives, but to also enjoy food without guilt. I love to keep things simple, and I would love to say that we could just create these two separate categories of good and bad food, but would you say that that's just a complete oversimplification of food?
It's a massive oversimplification, and it's a marketing tactic. It's almost like when you look on Instagram, you have like the green checks and the red X's. I work with a lot of people who struggle with food anxiety and with binge eating, and first and foremost, more people struggle with binge eating than they would like to admit. And one of the first things I like to say is if you struggle with binge eating, if you struggle with food anxiety, if going out to dinner with friends or family on Friday night is almost anxiety producing because you don't want to ruin all your progress, the first thing I say is you're not alone, because a lot of people struggle with it, but very few people actually discuss it. From that point, when we place a morality on food, whether food is good or bad, right or wrong, you're setting yourself up for more food anxiety. When you say ice cream is inherently bad, when you say pizza is inherently bad, when you go out to eat with your friends and family and there's ice cream or pizza, you're gonna more likely to get anxiety about it because you think you're doing something bad. But when we understand that our health isn't made up by one meal or one bite, no one got fat from having one donut, just like no one got skinny from having one salad. No one lost all their progress by missing one workout. No one got jacked and shredded by having one amazing workout. It's our health is dictated by everything we do over time. And the more we can realize that one meal isn't good or bad, one meal isn't right or wrong, the less anxiety we're going to have with food, which is really what my main goal is, to have a healthier relationship with food.
So great, we can eat whatever we want, whenever we want, and there will be no negative outcomes for our health because there are no good or bad foods. Except, not exactly. Changing how we look and talk about food doesn't mean that we're magically changing the nutritional components. So what does it mean?
And this is one of the main arguments that people will use when they go against what I'm saying. Like, oh, really? So you're just saying like you should have Pop-Tarts and pizza and candy for every meal? I'm like, no, just because there's no such thing as a good or bad food does not mean I'm saying go eat whatever you want. Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't place a morality on it. Don't shame yourself if you decide to, at your son's birthday party, have a slice of pizza. It's okay. But that doesn't mean I'm saying eat pizza for every meal. Like, generally speaking, to be a healthy individual and maintain a healthier body weight and have a healthier mindset, like, yeah, minimally processed, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, lean proteins, that should make up the majority of your diet. It's like the 80-20 rule, which is like, most of the time, don't eat like an asshole. When you do eat like an asshole, don't treat yourself like an asshole.
I think a lot of times, too, like, we need to think about what our goals are from the beginning. Because it's very easy to just follow trends. But we're so individual. And it's like, do you want to gain strength? Or do you want to focus on your body? Do you want to get lean?
Right.
Cut? What is it? And I think if we focus on those things first, then we can figure out maybe what's the best kind of lifestyle to live, what kind of food we should be eating. The health and fitness community can be a confusing place to navigate. It's overloaded with opinions, pseudoscience, and proclaimed experts. While there's a wealth of helpful knowledge, it can be difficult to discern what's best for you. And the truth is, it really depends where you're at on your own fitness journey.
One of my favorite examples is this. For one person, progress might be saying no to the donut because it's going to help them stay on track. It's going to help them eat fewer calories, and that's going to help them lose weight, which is what their goal is. For another person, though, progress might be saying yes to the donut because now they can eat it without anxiety. Because I think a lot of people only look at progress from a physical perspective, like fat loss, muscle gain. But mental progress is huge. Mental health is massively important, and it's seriously under-discussed, especially in fitness. And for me, if someone can have a donut without leading to a further binge, and or have a donut without shaming themselves and feeling guilty and just driving themselves into the ground, feeling like lesser person, like they failed, that's also huge progress.
It's probably better, right, to make the decision consciously than to slip up and make mistakes and then, or see them as mistakes. If we say, okay, I'm gonna go out and have a burger tonight, then we can feel better about that experience.
A lot of people, they'll go get the burger, but every bite, they're like, I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this. And they feel terrible about it, and they can't even enjoy it. And then when they're done, they feel so bad. They're like, well, I screwed everything up, so screw it. And then they get the ice cream, and then they have a whole box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then they have, it's like, what if you just enjoyed the burger?
What if you just enjoyed the burger? When you first get into healthy eating, it can be very easy to place large red X's on some foods and green check marks on the others. But this might not be the best long-term approach, especially if your goal isn't to just shed excess fat, but to instead rediscover a love of food without shame or guilt. As long as we're giving our body the nutrients it needs most of the time, as Jordan said, focusing on eating less processed foods, more fruits, more vegetables, and more lean protein, we can indulge ourselves every once in a while. We can eat guilt-free while on vacation. We can kick our feet up and have a few beers. After all, life can be pretty damn boring if we don't break our own rules from time to time. Are burgers good for you? Well, they taste pretty good. And for this meal, that's good enough for me. Hey guys, if you like this video, you might want to check out Jordan's YouTube channel. He's got a great channel where he talks about fitness, nutrition, and everything in between. Check it out in the description below. And of course, if you want to sign up to be a Patreon member, I've got a Patreon community where I create exclusive videos and podcast AMAs every month. I wanted to share a couple videos that I recently released that you might like. I sat down with Jordan to get his advice for those looking to build a fitness routine for the first time.
The gym is full of insecure people. And it's really important to remember that. And it doesn't matter how someone looks, they are not looking at you, they're looking at themselves.
I also recently uploaded behind the scenes content from my last couple videos, including how I shot the opening scene for the I Quit Caffeine video. So if you go to patreon.com/MattDiavella, again, there's a link down in the description. You can get access at the exclusive videos tier to all that content, plus a bunch of other stuff. Let me see how much I got here. I got 17 videos on filmmaking and creativity, 12 videos on lifestyle design, and 17 podcast episodes. That's a lot of stuff. This has been, we've been adding it every single month, making new stuff, trying to add value and give back to those who help to support this channel and help me continue to invest back into my videos. So if you have the money, that would be amazing. I would love your support. If you don't, then don't worry about it. No stress. I'd rather you focus on your finances. And if you've got a tight budget this month or this year, no worries at all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you next time. I'm drinking coffee again, so that's good news for me.